The 1950s. The town of Derry, a place now littered with nothing but corpses, where the name of humanity itself had vanished. And behind all this horror stood Pennywise. He had unleashed terror by killing children first. The deaths of these innocent kids spread pure panic throughout the town, making Pennywise stronger than ever, turning every home into a funeral ground. Now even the fall of a needle went unnoticed across the entire area, except in one desolate church at the center of town, where faint screams sometimes echoed through the empty halls. Pennywise had already destroyed the town, but when he discovered this church, he felt a surge of excitement. His work was not yet finished. There was still someone inside, someone he could torment and kill for his own amusement. Slowly, deliberately, he approached the church, and as soon as he pushed the door open and stepped inside, he shivered. A strange, unsettling dread filled him, a feeling he had never experienced before. Pennywise, a being not of this universe, who consumed fear itself for breakfast, was sensing something unfamiliar. Fear itself. As he raised his head, he saw a figure standing on the balcony. A sinister figure, cloaked in black. A face that radiated death with every expression. It was no ordinary being. It was the demonic nun of the church, staring into Pennywise's eyes with a murderous intent. When these two would collide, who would emerge victorious? Billions of years ago, before evil existed in this universe, there was only goodness. In that cosmos resided the Almighty and his angels, whose purpose was to follow his word, serve him, and maintain balance throughout creation. Yet, among these angels, one was dissatisfied with divine order. He believed himself stronger than God. He was certain that if he waged war against the Almighty, he would win, and then rule paradise alone. This angel's name was Lucifer, and he deceived several other angels to join his rebellion, igniting the first revolt against God. Clearly, who could defeat God? The Almighty crushed the rebellion and cast out all the defiant angels. Among those who followed Lucifer was Valak, later known in hell as defiler or profane, a demon whose sole purpose is to lead humans astray from their path of devotion. Though exiled from heaven, Valac remained extremely powerful, but confined to hell, he could not directly intervene in human lives, which limited his influence, until the 17th century. In Romania, at St. Carta Monastery, a duke performed a sacrificial ritual with 5 victims, opening a portal through which Valac crossed the walls of hell and entered Earth. The duke intended to exploit Valac's chaos to seize control of the world. But before Valac could unleash widespread destruction, the monastery priests subdued him using holy artifacts, sealing him beneath the monastery with armor forged from Christ's blood, a seal so powerful that Valac could never escape. Centuries passed and all seemed safe. But in 1939, during the bombings of World War II, a blast struck near the church where Valac was imprisoned. The shock waves shattered the structure, cracked the walls, and destroyed the seal, holding him captive. Valac broke free, slaughtering every priest inside within hours. He then assumed the form of a nun, taking hundreds of lives with a chilling supernatural presence. But now, much was revealed about the nun. As Pennywise stepped into the church and met Valac's gaze, silence engulfed the place. These were not ordinary monsters. Their power lay not just in physical might, but in penetrating the minds of their opponents, exploiting mental and psychological weaknesses to claim victory. Pennywise peered into the nun's mind, expecting fear, but found none, not even a trace of consciousness. Valac was a demonic spirit, utterly devoid of imagination, logic, or human reasoning. Pennywise realized that all his power, his shape-shifting, his fear-inducing abilities, depended on the fear of his victims. And Valac felt nothing. Undeterred, Pennywise attempted a direct assault, shape-shifting into grotesque forms to intimidate and attack. Yet the nun was no body to strike. She vanished like smoke and reappeared at a distance, making Pennywise feel powerless. She sought to prove that no matter what he did, he could not touch her. The situation worsened. Confusion and self-doubt crept into Pennywise's consciousness. A creature whose power was fueled by confidence and fear now faltered. His attacks grew weaker. Sensing an opportunity, Valak used telekinesis to lift Pennywise off the ground, restraining him with his demonic forces. Pennywise assumed his deadlight form in a desperate attempt to intimidate. But the nun only smiled. "You think your little light can scare me," she said. "I'll show you what true terror is." Suddenly, the ground split open, and molten fire from hell erupted, engulfing Pennywise. Shadows swirled around him, preventing escape. The infernal flames were so intense they could incinerate angels, and Pennywise, already weakened and deprived of fear to fuel himself, was being crushed under the immense pressure. His strength waned, his presence diminished. In mere seconds, the church and the entire town resonated with screams, horrific beyond comprehension. Screams of humans, animals, and monsters alike. But then, silence fell again. Winds stilled, the church gates slammed shut. And that's how the battle unfolded. The nun, or Valac, emerged victorious, and Pennywise was defeated. But now it's your turn to decide the next epic showdown. Comment below and tell us, which monsters do you want to see face off in the next episode? How did you feel about this battle? If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more thrilling monster showdowns. See you in the next mind-blowing video.